Hook it up to this end of the leak down tester. Connect it right there. And your regulator supply is turned all the way counterclockwise. So now we're going to turn it clockwise and adjust the leakage gauge. We're going to go ahead and keep turning clockwise, and you want to get it right to the 0 mark, and then you're going to set your regulator. So that's all set, ready to go at 0. And now what I'm going to do is connect it. Oops. What I'm going to do is connect the tool now to the cylinder, and we'll see how it goes. So going to connect, and it's on there. And now this is my leak down percentage. I'm right at about 20%, which is kind of, it's low, but it really should be somewhere around 10 to maybe 15%. So that's how you tell if it's good. This gauge will tell you, you're in the green, and you start getting down lower and lower. But really it should be 10 to 15%. So how do you know where the air is coming from? Well, if you had a really leaky cylinder, let's show you what's going to happen. So what I'm going to do is disconnect this for right now. This is actually top dead center. I don't know if I said before. For cylinder number 3, it's top dead center. So when I'm sorry, cylinder number 2. When I go to top deads, when I move it over to cylinder number 1, I won't be top dead center. But this is just for to show you what it's going to sound like when you do have a major leak, maybe a bent valve or something like that. So we're going to go back to the gauge, and we're going to adjust it back to 0 again, just as if we were starting fresh. So counterclockwise, let all the air out, bring it back to clockwise, go to 0, lock the regulator. And now I'm going to connect it to cylinder number 1, which is not top dead center, so air is going to be coming out of somewhere. Connect it. Immediately I can hear air rushing out, so let's check the gauge. Okay, I'm a little more than 40% percentage in that cylinder, so air is escaping somewhere. Need to find out where it's coming from. What you want to do is check the radiator, see if there's any bubbles coming out the radiator. We're good on that. You can check your crankcase, and I actually have a tube that's coming from the bottom of my crankcase, and I can check it here. I'm listening for it first. Don't hear anything. I can actually put my finger over it, see if it's going to build pressure or if I hear a change in sound. Okay, that's not going to do it. Also, that's letting you know that it's not getting past your rings. Then you want to check your throttle body. Now if it's coming through the intake, you're going to hear the air escaping out of the throttle body once you open it. Alright, so we're back. Had the compressor cut on in the middle of testing, so had to wait for that to cycle. So I still hear the air escaping. We're still at about 40%. What you're going to do is open the throttle body and see if you can hear any air escaping out the throttle body. Now you can definitely hear that right out of the throttle body. So that tells you that the valves on the intake side are not sealing, which means you have a leak on your intake valve. Now there's gonna, if it's a Honda motor, you got 2 valves to each cylinder, and 2 valves for the intake, 2 for the exhaust. So it's gonna be these 2 valves back here that are going to be open, and that's going to be evident because my cam is actually pushing down on them right now to have them open because I'm not at top dead center. But if I was at top dead center and I heard the air leaking out of the throttle body, it's going to mean that I probably have a bent valve on the intake side. Or otherwise I'd hear, if it was coming out of the exhaust, same thing, it'd be an exhaust valve that's staying open. If it's coming out of your radiator, it's going to be probably, I assume, a head gasket, or there's going to be a cracked sleeve where air is escaping and it's getting into the coolant system and it's causing bubbles. If it's coming out of your crankcase, could be cracked ring lands, bad rings, period. Shouldn't be coming out your crankcase, especially if it's warm. But if your motor is cold, you can always have a little bit of air coming out of the crankcase. So that's it.